Okay, today we're going to go over the planet Earth again, and I'm going to talk to you science fiction. I'm using the Google Earth because if you saw my other video last week, it's my favorite interactive device. And you can connect with people on here. I'm using it by making a video, and I can connect with you this way. It's interactive. I have a flaw that I found with this, and it doesn't give you circumference movement, circular movement. It only gives you side-to-side movement. If you notice here, now I'm going against the movement. I'm going counter to the rotation of the Earth. The rotation of the Earth is actually this way. And the reason why I show it to you, quote-unquote, on its side is because I need you to start seeing things from a different angle, a different perspective. We shouldn't be always putting the north up at the top. And I want to emphasize that again. So people that are listening, if you have never had this thought before, I'm giving you something radical right now. North should not be at the top all the time. Now, having said that, see, if I wanted to do movement like this, I really can't. I can't show you circular movement. Google Earth doesn't allow you to do that kind of movement. The best that I could do is kind of go like, sort of like spinning a top, and it will not let me, in other words, it doesn't let you show the pole movement. It doesn't let you look down on the Earth over the poles. It doesn't give you polar circular motion. And that is a major flaw of Google Earth. So if the makers of Google Earth want to listen, do something about fixing that, because I found a major flaw. Now, having said that, let's just go back here like this. Let's talk about what I want to do with the Earth. I'm a little bit like Jules Verne, a little bit like H.G. Wells. I don't know, I heard he was an Illuminati agent of the British Empire. But in any case, I am a futurist, I'm a science fiction kind of guy, I'm a scientist, visionary planner, in the sense that what I'm giving you right now is theoretical projects that I would like to do. If you're coming to the Earth from this side, you're approaching when the Earth is facing this side at this time of day, you would basically see mostly water. You would see a blue planet, and this is, I should have gotten rid of that page. You're basically seeing all water, and yeah, that's stating the obvious, but is that a problem? Yeah. We're land species, and as much as you want to sympathize with water and aquatic species and oh yeah, we evolved from water, we still evolve from water. It's not past tense. You come out of your mother's womb, it's full of water. Period. Okay? It's not the past. It's still presently we evolve in water. And that is never going to change as far as I see. Well, unless I figure out we could come out of dry eggs or something. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm planning. I'm looking at this and saying, for our planet, we need to get rid of this. I would calculate that we need to get rid of at least 50% of the water on the planet. So one idea was, which we could plausibly do very simply, is put a bunch of pumps around Antarctica, pumping it inward onto the land, and just spray it up into the land and create hundreds of miles thick of new ice, frozen salt water on top of this continent, on this pole, during the winter, obviously when it's coldest. So you just put these pump houses all along the side. The cost would not even be that much. It's basically a simple common sense process. During the winter in the north, you could also do the same thing with the North Polar ice cap. This Google Earth doesn't show that, so I don't know if they mean that there is none. or whether they just get it out of the way so you can see the ocean basin. But let's just say, why do I have this crazy mad scientist idea of getting rid of the water? Well, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to transform it because I have technology that can do that. We will increase our land area by 30-40% by getting rid of all that water. For example, the greatest gain of land will be here in Southeast Asia, around the South China Sea, between there and the Philippines. And that will mean that any of the coastal countries here will double, triple, quadruple, or more their size of land, their property. So that's just going to have to change anyhow, because the boundaries I would get rid of on the land. Politically, I would be even more of a mad scientist, a mad political scientist. So that's also coming, folks. But talking about the shallowness here of, this is only about 50 feet deep in a lot of places, and here. That is ridiculously shallow. You get rid of a little bit of water, and all of this becomes fertile land for people to live. Let's take a look at the other areas. You've got all north of Australia will be available for use. Not much of the west coast of the Americas, though, because that is deep water. You do have the land bridge between Siberia and Alaska will be connected again, and land around the Arctic Ocean will become exposed, all new land, much of Hudson's Bay. You would have Florida expanding 3 times its size and around Louisiana and Texas over here, and also the Yucatan would become huge tropical areas of land. So if you think Key West is great, you're going to have an entire state size like that. If you think Cancun is great, you're going to have an entire new huge coastline here. Also, this peninsula, this is very, very deep, by the way. This is a crack in the earth. This is a major crack. You have a little bit of gain on the side of South America, but especially down here in Argentina. That's where this is. Argentina, down here by Patagonia. Huge, massive amount of gain. It's unusual that there's a lot of like perforations in the continental crust here, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's go to Africa. Africa's really not going to show that much of a difference because it's highland and its coasts drop down rather quickly. You're going to have a lot of gain in the British Isles. It's basically going to connect again to Europe, which is what we need to see. And there may be a land bridge from not maybe, but there will be eventually from Scotland. It will connect to Iceland, and it will connect to Greenland, and Greenland will connect to Canada through here, through Labrador or Newfoundland. This is all another land bridge. So basically what you have is just one channel of water emptying out the Arctic Ocean. It will become a sea, just like the Mediterranean, similar to the Mediterranean. And what I mean is really only one outlet over here. I shouldn't say that this will be a complete land bridge because there's a deep channel here in between Scotland and Iceland. But other than that, which you can put a bridge across, an artificial mechanical bridge. But other than this drainage, the Arctic Ocean will become landlocked. The Mediterranean, all southern Mediterranean ports and coastline will change. Greece and Turkey will have to have a new, well, like I said, politics don't matter. But the Aegean Sea will become very shallow and the islands will become huge. And basically, those are the main things to consider of the continental land masses. And with one more exception, you've got both sides of India, and over here, So on one side is Pakistan, and what happens is you've got the cone, what they call a cone or a fan. If you see where I'm doing this, there's a huge shallowness of the water here, and it would basically double this side of India. And over here, there's another cone, and these are two rivers, great drainage rivers that come out from the mountains. This on this side is the Brahmaputra, and it goes through Bangladesh. And you have this massive shallow cone here, shallow water. This will all join India with this side of Myanmar, Burma, Thailand, Siam, Kampuchea. You also will have, obviously, a land bridge connecting Sri Lanka again to India. And there was myths and legends stating that it is... I got cut off on the recording. You have a land bridge between Sri Lanka and here. The myths say that Rama threw stones in here, and I think Hanuman also, but I don't know for sure. The gods were throwing stones to connect these with a bridge. So that, since then, thousands of years ago, has washed away. And basically, when the water is drained, you have that connection again. So I want to draw some maps for you, which will show you all of the new... here's all my passwords. Oh, I need pictures. It will show you all of the new coastlines. So I have some of it here, which I can just peruse. Some of it shows you land that's lost. That's the typical way of looking at things. I'm showing you land that's gained. Now, also, what's really important in showing you is the ocean floor age, so that you can understand things. That was cute, wasn't it? Is that real or Photoshop? And these are fantastic. I study over these for hours and days and nights on end. Really keeps me up at night. Studying the age of the ocean basin tells you a lot. That's why I know that there was an expanding Earth process going on about 280 million years ago, just prior to the Great Extinction period. The Earth changed drastically, like super drastically. It started to expand, and the expansion of the Earth has not been equal. It hasn't been at a rate that you can compare. It's got ups and downs. So the great spurt of expansion happened then and caused the change of the whole environment and the chemistry of the Earth, the atmospheric conditions. And so that is why the life forms had to change and adapt to it. Life forms change. It's not an extinction. Just means is that the life energy of the beings had to come back. You could call it evolution. You call it adaptation. You can call it creative design, or alteration, redesign. However you want to look at it, all of them are partially true. The oldest oceans in the Earth are right here, and this used to be connected with the South China Sea. Right off the coast of here was an ancient ocean. This was the original ocean that cracked open. The Gulf of Mexico might also be another smaller opening. The Arctic might be a smaller opening. And also, I'm pretty sure that the Mediterranean was one of the early openings, but it actually included the Sahara. The most ancient ocean that we can see during the beginning of the transformation, about 280 or 250 million years ago, is here. And